right, we're live. FindYourFX.com, Bulletproof Traders. We're back in action with the Forex market trade of the day. And today, guys, I just want to follow up on an existing bearish position that we have on the pound, the British pound versus the US dollar. Last time we touched base was exactly 7 days ago, right? A week ago, where price action was right here on the top and it was starting to turn around. I was right here calling it out and sharing my overview on the situation, but also taking action, pulling the trigger on a short position. You probably remember when we fired off the first trade, right? That was 7 days ago. So I think it's a good time to come back to it, have a bit of a follow-up, give you an update on the situation. Bottom line, we're still here, holding tight and riding that move, but also getting more aggressive, right? We started off with the first trade. The next day, I believe it was, we fired off the second trade. So we doubled up our position size. And today, we're tripling up because price action is giving us that green light to proceed. And let's go over the technical situation and reanalyze the situation. All right. So first of all, I was suggesting back in the day, 7 days ago, when I was here talking about it, I was suggesting that the move that we had from the bottom all the way to the top lasted about, I think it was lasted like for 10 days or so. I suggested that was a technical correction. I also mentioned that it's a classic ABC Elliott wave correction. And I also felt that it was the end of the way, the end of the road for that technical correction, and pricing is going to resume the original downside trend. That's why we took immediate action back then. Now when I look at it, obviously I get that confirmation from price action because it definitely turned back down, finished up that technical correction and went straight back to that negative momentum. But I also see something quite interesting. Just take a look at the last couple of weeks where I can definitely see a head and shoulders pattern right here, and I can mark it right there with that neckline. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I want this line. Let's do this. This is the neckline, right? This is the head and shoulders pattern that appeared on that technical correction formation. So we have the left shoulder followed by the head, right? And then the right shoulder started to construct itself. And now we're witnessing a breakdown. So an activation of this reversal pattern, the head and shoulders pattern. I also see price action just today testing that neckline, right? It's coming up. It's testing that neckline, making sure it's solid because it was a support, but once got broken yesterday, it's supposed to switch to being resistance. And we can see price actions pulling back really nice here. That's a very nice technical behavior, right? Price action is coming back, testing that neckline, finding that resistance and backing off. Right, backing away. So, like I said, that gives me that confidence, not just to keep pursuing this bearish campaign, but also increase our position size, get even more aggressive, right? Now, let's talk big picture, because this is nice and dandy, but this is the daily chart, this is the short-term perspective. But looking at this from the bigger perspective, the weekly chart, for example, we can see the turnaround after a couple of weeks of technical correction. Like I suggested, price action is back on the downside. It's on the back foot again. But what I really like is the bigger picture, the biggest, which is the monthly chart. I think the monthly chart sheds some light on the situation here. And I've mentioned that a week ago when I was talking about the pound dollar, because ever since July, right? I'm going to repeat that part. Ever since July, early July 2023, that is, So we're talking about a year and a half almost, where price action has been trading sideways, right? I mean, it came off of a strong upside trend, and around July 2023, it started to stagnate, started to trade sideways in a wide range, however. And what I really liked about the situation here was the fact that price action made contact with the last line of resistance, 3402, right here, that blue line on the top, and it couldn't break through, right? It tried, it challenged that level, but it turned around right off of that area. And then, on top of that, it started to cross below 2881, which was our trigger to jump into position. So not only it broke down that 2881, but it also closed the weekly bar below 2881. So that's kind of a confirmation of a legit breakdown. Now, if it's a breakdown, then we would expect price action to come back to where it came from, the same area it came from, because at the end of the day, if it's a trading range, that we should expect price action to go back and forth in this defined range. So this is why we took immediate action when we secured that breakdown, when the pound versus the US dollar secured that breakdown, and that's where we started to, get interested and also participate in an active short position. Now you can see that looking at that range here, we're probably around halfway through, right? Price action broke, since it broke 2881, it's right in the middle of the range, and there's quite a long way to go still, half of the way to 2297, which I rounded up to 123. So we're still about 280 pip to go, which is very exciting to me, because my plan is to get even more aggressive as we're closing in on target. Last thing I want to mention before we wrap this up is the stop loss level. We started with stop loss level, I believe it was 2950 if I'm not mistaken, originally. But obviously as price action is sliding downwards, we're also tightening up our stop loss level, trailing our stop loss level accordingly. So last adjustment was done today, and we're pushing our stop loss level to the level of 128. It's actually 128.10. So that's the new location of our stop loss level. And it's going to be super interesting to follow up on the situation here. We're definitely going to do that. We'll come back. We'll keep you posted. In the meantime, guys, I want to wish you a nice trading day. We're going to be back tomorrow as usual. So till then, be well.